We've been here a long time, and we're looking for a lot of the people in here to help us move into the future. The evolution of hydro. We started a very small company and took on the big OEMs, many that you don't even know their names. But they were the giants, we were the ants. A vision of a couple of people who had the ability to go forward and create something. When the roots are deep, we fear no wind, and that's what hydro is. I came from a Fortune 500 company, and I pulled in front of the door, and this is what it looked like. There was no traffic on the street. There was nothing. But I went in. I don't want to tell you what was in there, but George was there, and we talked. And we talked, and then we moved along, and we talked again, and we had a couple of conversations, and lo and behold, the best move I ever made was joining hydro 35 plus years ago. This is the inside, very rudimentary for the 1960s. In the 1970s, it had this wonderful damp smell about it. It was really good, but they pressed business out of there. At that time, hydro was a new unit sales operation. Oh. Bob Jennings. We were able to get him, and we turned him into one of the best salesmen the company has ever seen. Tremendous asset to the company.
It was just a storefront building up on Diversity Avenue, and we were a very, very small company then. I don't think we had 25 employees total. And so it was a very family-oriented environment. And but I started off in the application desk because back in those days, HydroAir was a pump distributor representing different product lines.
The Diversity location was located on Diversity and Laramie in kind of a residential area with a doctor's office next to it. And some of the pumps we actually vertical and we had to work on in the alley. And cars, parked their car in the garages, and they'd go complain to George, they can't get down the alley, they got my alley blocked. So it was a very small place. I think maybe no more than 12, 13 people.
This is the Costner shop when it was fully loaded. And when we walked in there originally, Bob, myself, and George, there was nothing there. No tools, just water on the floor about 3 inches deep. I don't have to tell you how important this gentleman was to hydro.
Pump is trying to tell you something. It's failing. What happened? The pump had less than 1% gap B in it. And it screams like hell. The diffuser tips were breaking off and blocking the control valve and so forth. And you can hear it. It's no magic. I don't have to be a genius. The word is incorrect. You have to care. It's like the baby. Mother knows exactly what to do. If you care, you know exactly what to do with it. And if you don't know, you find out. The basic secret is that you have to love what you're doing. Here's Mr. McDonald, Apray, you fellows, trying to push me into put everything on the computer. Yes, fine, we're doing it. I think we'll do a good job on that, right? But how do you put the care into the computer? We live with each other and we don't really know too much about each other. And we don't know that the most important thing is that what you do, you have to put your soul into it and you have to love it.
The American Society of Mechanical Engineers selects a recipient who has made an extraordinary contribution to the practical improvement of machinery. In 1992, the then president of Southern Company, Pat McDonald, flew to Washington, D.C. to present the Worthington Medal to Dr. Elmer Mackay. He dramatically influenced the evolution and growth of hydro and was instrumental in creating a unique culture of quality. Hydro was fortunate to have worked for over 25 years with Dr. Elmer Mackay, an independent consultant to the utility industry and a well-known authority on high-energy pumps. Dr. Mackay's pioneering work, including his research on A and B gap modifications with which his name is closely associated, dramatically improved the performance and reliability of these critical pumps.
Teamwork makes the dream. We were able to do this because they believed in the salespeople, not so much on the equipment. They believed in our mechanics, our machinists, our managers. George, Dave Allard, myself, a half a dozen others, we had a rowboat with holes in it, but we had the idea and the ability to do it.
I was a stay-at-home mother. My husband was a school teacher, and the teachers were on strike. So I decided that I needed to go back and work while he was not earning an income. The HR manager, I'm sitting in his office, and all of a sudden the door opens. George Harris walks in, hardly looks at me, but points to the HR manager and says, "Hire her now. I want her," and turned and walked out. I got the job. And from there, I worked for Rita Harris, I worked for George, and co-pilot. Well, that's better than wingman, because you told me that once. You're kind of like my wingman. I'm like, I don't know if I want that one. Co-pilot, that works better.
Instrumental isn't the word. He was one of the guiding forces. He was smart enough to get on Dr. Mackay's hip, and he was taught, and then he taught the rest of us how to do things. He was one of the foundations of building the corporation.
Dave has done more to establish Hydro's aftermarket
George,
capability.
if it wasn't for the team, it wouldn't have done it.
Some of the new managers that are coming up, what would you advise them?
To be true to their job, to take their job with passion, and to keep that passion and pass it over to their people. Simple. Simple.
It sounds simple.
It's simple. Do it right the first time and you get the job in coming in the door. Just repeat business.
This is the original field service team. When we moved here, we went into field service 2 weeks after we started business with customers that wanted us to pull pumps and help them.
One thing led to another. The OEMs were starting to really kind of go downhill. They weren't doing what they normally did for the customer, and I saw more and more what Hydro was doing for the customer, and I said I wouldn't be part of that. Now I can work with my guys. I can work with the customer the way that I want to, in a way that I think is right. And George backs that 100%. Dave backed it up 100%, 110% when I first started. He was fabulous. He had the same direction I did. He had the same philosophy I did with the customer. It worked out great. The perfect fit. Perfect fit.